All right. Aaden. There's something about having your first son. You know, this doesn't make Carson any less dear to my heart. You know, because there's also something about having your second son where it's like, wow, I made two. But I'm talking to you. So I'm going to address my feelings about you. And this stupid kid, can't stand this kid. I'll leave his name alone, but he's family of family. And one time he said, you know, sometimes he said real smart stuff, you know. He was stupid. Really, really though. Like he was like one of the stupidest smart guys I knew. He'd make really bad decisions, and you know, he you know what it was? He tried to be someone he wasn't. He tried to be his dad, you know, toughest guy on earth, right? But he said only men can make men, you know. And what he meant when he said it, because he was talking about somebody who only had girls. This guy always wanted to have a boy, but he ended up having 4 daughters, and it was his brother. And to pick at him because they didn't get along, you know, they had problems. But to pick at him, he would say only men can make men because he had one son. And you know, I thought it was funny when I heard it because I know them both, and I know how bad that probably bothered his brother. And I've thought about that. You know, watch, there's little things people are gonna say to you in your life that are they're gonna stick. You know, they're gonna stick with you. And that always stuck with me. But you know, as I thought about it, you know, and I thought about it with Papa, you know, because Papa's real sad I'm going away, and you know, I'm his son, you know, and that's probably a hard thing. I hope I never go through it, you know. But never say never, I'm telling you, man. Every time I've said never, it's the opposite, you know. I remember I told your mom, you know, I was like, okay, Tori, I don't like the princess stuff. I don't like it, you know. She ain't gonna, I don't want people calling her it, you know, treating her like that. I want her to be a, you know, strong young girl and, you know that she has to work for her stuff and, you know, all of this. And so I don't even think she was born for like an hour. And I was like, oh, look at my princess. And your mom was just like, I thought we weren't calling her princess. And I was like, I can't help she was born a princess, you know. So the first time I went to jail that night, it was in Kern County. We were all supposed to go to Washington that next day. And we were drinking at this bar, me and Max, you remember Max. And we were drinking, and he went to jail. He did six months or something, and he went to jail. And he said, you know, I was talking to him about it. I was like, I'll never go to jail, dude. Never. You know, I'm too smart. You know, too quick, too slick. And I went to jail that night. So, you know, just don't ever say never. Anyway, you know, when I had you in my arms, Aaden, I was so scared. I was so scared. Oh, back to the Papa thing. What I was trying to get at is, you know, Papa made a man. You know, he was real sad about me, you know, leaving and all that. And, you know, I said, Dad, if you could find comfort in anything, you know, at least find comfort in the fact that I'm a man that could admit my faults. I'm not crying for myself. You know, I'm not boo-hoo, poor Nick. I'm worried about everybody else. I'm not making these for me, you know, so I won't be forgotten. You know, I'm making these for you guys, you know, because I feel like, it's important to have guidance, and this is the only way I can think of right now to do it. This is a lot easier than reading a letter. But so anyway, terrified. I was terrified. Papa tried his best with me. When you grow up, you're going to know what you were missing in your life to help you in the right ways, to guide you in the right directions. You're going to say, hey, you know what? My dad did this, and and then after, he figured out that was the wrong thing to do. Then he started doing this, and then he had a drinking problem, and then he did this, and then he went to prison or jail, and then he went to prison, and then you're gonna have all kinds of issues with me, bro, and it's cool. I get it. I'll take that. I will. I promise you. Whenever you want to talk about those ways I failed, I'll understand that. I really will. I really will. I'm not looking forward to it. You could ask Mika. I hate talking about bad days I've had when I've drank. I don't like to know. It's hard to face the truth about yourself, Sometimes, I tell you all the time, don't be a jerk, and it's because you can be. You got a characteristic where you can make people feel bad, or you want to correct people, or you want to argue, or you just want to be right, and you'll grow out of it. It took me, dude, I wasn't like that as much as a kid, but in my 20s I was like that a lot, and I grew out of it. So I guess it's better for you to go through it now. But like I was saying, you think about the things that you didn't have that would have helped you become a young man and eventually a man. And I felt like I didn't have so much experience, with having that kind of interaction with my dad. I needed it. My dad needed attention. Not like, hey, give me attention, just like attention, like be attentive to me. This is how I feel loved. You spend time with me. You spend, energy on me, and I feel loved, because nobody wants to be, nobody wants to be somebody that's just there when you need them, or, taken advantage of, they're the fact that he's my dad, I got to call and let him know when I'm thinking about him. Hey, just how's your day? I was thinking about you. I love you, all this stuff. So, but I didn't need attention. I need, I'm a conversationalist. I needed to be talked to, and explained. I feel like you're like that, I think your biggest problem with being that way is that you think you know everything. Easy example, when we were leaving the game room, whatever that is, you're getting up and pulling on the handle, and I'm trying to explain to you, like, hey, get down, you got to pull it from the other side, you're not tall enough, but you can't tell Aaden, he can't do something, because he'll show you he can, and you keep doing it. I'm like, hey, dude, get down. And you keep doing it. I'm like, hey, bro, like, get down. And you're like, I was, and I was just like, you weren't, you weren't. Hezzy does this. You guys are a lot alike, you two. You guys are a lot alike. And that's cool. That's good to be strong. That's good, but there's a point where somebody who's, in authority over you, you don't push back all the time. You push back when it really matters, Hey, don't do that to me. You're affecting my personal integrity or whatever, whatever. But you don't push back all the time. You don't need to, especially with me. I'm trying to do what's good for you. I'm trying to help. Your mom's trying to help. I'm sure John's trying to help. Papa, Grandma, Auntie Rose, Uncle Jose. We're all there for you. Everybody has their place and they need to make sure they're in it, but we're all there for you. So, you argue with me, I was getting down, I'm like, dude, you weren't. You still are. Yes, I was. I'm like, buddy, you weren't. Yes, I was. I'm like, hey, dude, Tori, was he? And she's like, yeah, yeah, dude, and I got to get my daughter to co-sign so you listen, so it's like, those things are going to be difficult for you. You got to overcome that. So, because people just stop wanting to tell you stuff. They'll be like, all right, know it all. Touch the stove, get burnt, But your personality is a lot like mine, You're a better reader than me. But I'm smart, I'm really smart, Obviously not smart about some stuff, but like when it comes to being thoughtful, processing, what seems right, what doesn't, okay, well, that doesn't make sense, I'm good at that. And I think you are too. I think you're going to have strong capabilities of being something very great. You want that Lamborghini? Buddy, get it. Get that Lamborghini. Set your life up for that goal. But let me tell you something. You can't grow old with a Lamborghini. You can't hold a Lamborghini's hand. A Lamborghini ain't going to come visit you in the hospital. None of that. It's about relationships, and making sure that even when somebody's not there for you in that relationship, that you're still there, and that ain't what, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about everybody, Aaden, out of all the kids, you scare me the most. And in the thumbnail, I'm going to post a picture and I'll crop it out, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But this is hard for me to say. I was so hard on you at at way too young of an age. I had no clue. Scared to death. I don't want my boy to turn out like this. I don't want my boy to turn out like that. I don't want this. I don't want that. I'm scared. It's out of control. It's out of my hands. That's what I've learned now. But when I was raising you that young, I didn't know that. I thought it's only in my hands. It's he's gonna be who he is based on what I do. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You're gonna be you. That's what I have learned. Papa didn't make me this way. Grandma didn't make me this way. I have things about me that are because of them. Absolutely. Their blood is flowing through my body. My brain is wired a lot like my mom, but my temperament's wired a lot like my dad, So, I think I've, made bad decisions, but became better versions of them in certain ways, and that's what's supposed to happen, but I was too hard on you, man. We had a lot of good times. I'm not going to sit around for 1 second and pretend that I wasn't a good dad to you. I took you to my job sites. I had your mom bring you to my job sites. I took you up in a lift one time and you were just like, freaking out. I took you to a job site. Your mom made you that vest and I got you a hard hat and you had your little hammer, and I thought it was, you wanted that. When I was outside in the mobile home, I was building the skirt around the mobile home. You're like, Dad, I want to help. I want to do it. You're just all over me, man. All over me. And I think that's what scared me. I had an initial fear when you were born, but it was nothing like, when you turned 3. When you turned 3, it was just like, this dude will not stop watching me. And you're still that way. You know, when I talk to you, you know, Tori listens. You know, Carson's learning to listen more, and I'm proud of him for that. But you take in what I say, and I don't know if you're like that with everybody. I don't even care. I don't care what you're like with your mom. I hope you respect her, and if you don't, I mean, you have a problem, plain and simple. You know, I don't have to get along with your mom. You know, we've been through stuff, and respect is being, you know, grown, and that's great. You know, I think your mom's done a great job with you guys, in a lot of aspects. You know, I'm really proud of her as a mom. I think that's wonderful that you guys have her the way that she's succeeded for you guys as a mom. We all fail as parents in certain ways. There's no book. But yeah, the way you were watching me, you know. So I went up on the mobile home one time. I think you were about to turn 4, you know, and I had this ladder propped up against it. I think I was doing something to the water heat, or not the water heater, the swamp cooler. And so, I think I had like something set up on the driveway, and you were out there playing, and you know, I look back, and all I see is this little head pop up on the ladder, like, what you doing? You know, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you know, and I ran over there, and I grabbed you, you know, because it, you know, probably like 12 feet up, you know, I would have really hurt you, and I was just like, this kid, man, and I got mad at you, you know, I got real mad at you, and you're like, I just wanted to be with you, and I was like, shit, that's scary, you know, and I hope you watch me now, you know, I do, I really do, because I'm not stupid, I'm not a terrible father, you know. What's happening right now isn't a good thing. What's happening right now hurts you, you know, and that is something that I have to face and live with. And I guarantee wherever I am right now, I'm thinking about it, you know. It's, you guys are on my mind in different ways at different times, you know. I could think of all of you and things we've done. You know, when me and your mom separated, I was taking you guys everywhere, you know. I remember one time I took you to that pizza place. I think it was called Big Cheese, and you guys were all playing skee ball, and it was I have a picture. It was real cute. You know, you guys have mohawks everywhere I took you and Carson, you know, because I had you guys, you know, dressed in little shoes and jeans and V-neck shirts, little black shaka shirts, and everyone was like, oh my God, like those kids, geez, and I'm like, I know, lock up your daughters, you know, they're lookers, but don't stop reading, you're good at it, you know, people, sometimes when people are good at stuff, it becomes less valuable to them, you know, because it's like, it comes so easy to me. I'm a natural. It's not a challenge, you know, and that's cool. Challenge yourself with other things, but what you're talented at, cling to that, hold on to that, you know, and what you can do in the future with it is you can exploit it for positive reasons, you know, for positive responses towards your life, you know. So what that means is if you're a good reader, you know, and you're good at math, but I think you're probably a better reader than mathematics. I think, you know, because you're such a good reader. You could be great at math, but you're an outstanding reader. So, you know, maybe you'll be able to go on and study law, you know, if you want. Do what you want, you know, you do whatever you want. You know, you want to be an engineer? All right, well, you're going to have to read the different formulas, you know, to create your design of whatever it may be on AutoCAD, you know, or whatever they're using at that time. You know, you're going to have to be able to, you know, if you can read, chances are you can write and you can use words. You know, that's the idea. I use words better than I can read, though. But I think for someone who can read well and retain it, they can also give the information better than somebody who can't read. So, you know, if you got to do a presentation or you have to explain your reasoning, you know, somebody else does a design and they say, hey, evaluate it. You know, I need you to go over it and, you know, is this going to work? You know, and then, you know, oh, it will work because of this, you know, and then you say, it may not work because of this. You know, this right here, you see what's going to happen. This is a weight bearing, you know, header over here. So if you end up putting too much weight on this side, it could, you know, however, whatever the case may be. I don't know what you're going to get into, but the point is, you know, don't stop reading. You know, don't get on these electronics, man. I'm telling you, you know, they are the worst thing that can happen for somebody. Unless you're doing research, unless you're reading on them. I'm talking about like these superficial things, you know, things that don't matter, you know. Makeup don't matter if they're ugly, you know. They're going to take that makeup off. You're going to wake up next to a donkey, you know, that's a problem, you know. So, but that's the point. People only put on there what they want you to see, you know, on the internet, on this, on that, you know. Me too. I just did my hair just for this because I wanted to show you, you know, because, you know, I'm not there and you're going to have to comb your hair and all of that. So, you know, I wanted to show you kind of how to do it. You know, I use a comb, right? I use a comb to get it where I want it. And then I use a bristle brush so it's not all bulky in the front. I try to do a nice part. My hair's a little long right now, you know. You use a, you know, your gel or your fiber or whatever you use. You know, this is just a conditioner, and you know, you do it. You rub it in all over. Rub it in through your hands. Then rub your fingers through your hair. You know, get it good and get it everywhere. You know, equally distributed. You know, and then start sculpting it. I don't know why I'm using two hands. I don't have two brushes, but you know, sometimes you like that. You know. So that's how you do that. But yeah, the point is, you know, people, they're only going to put what they want you to see, bro. That's it. And it's such bullshit, man. It really is, you know. And you could waste a lot of your life doing that. You know, you do the math. You're good at math and you're oh so smart. Do the math if you're on it for, you know, 30 minutes a day. You know, times 7. I don't know what that is, 3.5 hours, something like that, times 52, right? So now we're at what, 150, 160 hours, something like that. Is that right? Now, see now, you see what you do to me? You see what you do to me? All right, let's see. Is this where we go? Settings. How do we do this? Well, we're gonna figure this out. Here we go. Calculator, right? So we got, what'd I say, 3.5 hours times 52 weeks, 182. Oh, I was way off. Well, 22 off. So 182 hours a year. And that's if you're only on it half hour a day. You know? Looking at stuff that does not matter at all. You know? There's a stupid movie and this lady was talking to this guy, beating him up, but she was right, you know. She was talking about this columnist, you know, somebody who writes columns about people, you know, and she said, you know, you think you're so great, all you do is sit down and write about what other great men do, you know, and that's harsh and it's mean, and, you know, it's still a talent to be able to examine and write it down, but, you know, she's right to an extent. You're watching what people are doing, and then you're commenting on it, you know. So don't watch somebody do something great. Do something great. Spin that. So let's divide that. It's 4.5 weeks, right? Work weeks. 40 hours in a work week. So 182 divided by 40, 4.55. That's 4.5 work weeks. 4.5 work weeks that you just spent in your free time watching other people do stuff you wish you could do. what's the point of that? You know, so, and I've done it. I'm telling you, because I've done it. I think about, you know, I'm going to be 36 in a month and a half. And I think about all the wasted time, you know. I love movies, you know. You have to have your outlets, you know. Oh, speaking of that, okay? You're batting, right? You're batting, elbow up, just like that. Elbow up. You know what I'm saying? So when you swing, you're swinging down, getting under it, popping that baby up. Drive your foot. Drive your foot in. Swing your hips. You know, that's one thing. I just wanted to tell you that, but I'm serious, dude. Elbow up. Elbow up. Rock back and forth. Bend your knees. Get the rhythm, you know. Everything in life this is applicable. Form is the most important thing. I'm gonna make another video for you. You know, I'm just thinking out loud, you know, telling you a whole bunch of stuff that I think will apply to you as the, you know, time goes by where I'm not there. I wish I spent more time talking to you. You're man, you're such a neat kid, Aaden. You really are. You know, it's these fine-tuned things that you got to work on that'll make you an exceptional man. You're a kid right now. You know, none of it is consequential. That means there's no consequence for, you know, you being that way right now, other than, you know, maybe people might not, you know, like that. You know, what happens is if it keeps going, you know, as you grow taller, these habits will grow bigger and they can grow worse, you know, more obnoxious, more hard to deal with, you know, and stuff like that. But you're a neat guy, man. You're fun. You know, I like laughing with you. You're handsome, dude. You know, but don't let that fool you, you know. Don't let that fool. Even roses have thorns, you know what I mean? Thorns ain't no fun. But yeah, I'll make a few more of these for you. You know, I'll probably make more than a few more for you. Trying to think about things. Tired. I worked out yesterday. You saw the sauna video, I'm assuming. But watch when you see me next. You know, not right now, but you know, well, yeah, actually, because you shouldn't be watching these till after I'm gone. And when you see me, dude, I'm gonna be a monster. I bet you anything. I bet you anything. You know, I'm running, you know, a little bit now. You know, I think I'm gonna do a video tonight showing you how to shadow box and work on your footwork and stuff, just for fun, dude. You don't gotta beat nobody up. You don't gotta do nothing about it. But you know, it's rhythm, dude. Rhythm matters in everything. You know, you gotta have good rhythm. You know, you gotta have good stamina. You gotta set the pace. You know, ask your mom about all this stuff. Ask your mom about form. Ask your mom about setting the pace. Ask your mom about rhythm. Ask your mom about stamina. She's an athlete, you know, she was, whatever. I don't know what she does or considers herself now, but, you know, form in life is everything, man. How you run, you know, run. Strides, how you do your strides. If you run with your arms down, you know, you're not going to be as fast as if you run, you know, with proper form where your body is able to get the most out of what it's doing. You know, if you're lifting weights and you're just going, you know, you're just going like this. You know, oh, 20, I did 20, right? Well, you did 20 crappy reps on a bench. Big deal. But if you're going like this, you're spreading your chest, right? You're spreading your chest, you're working everything. You know, and I know I haven't been up on that, you know, in all fairness, I almost died in that motorcycle accident. I barely started being able to move the way I can, but you know, I used to do really good, and I'm gonna get back to that. So, form, patience, pace yourself, stamina. Excuse me. All of that, you know, it's applicable to life. 30 minutes. 30 minutes we've been talking. I wonder if you watched this whole video. You probably did. I think of all the kids, it's probably you. Even if you had to pause it. You know, I'm watching my dad. Because you watch me. I know that. You know, watch the good thing. This is the last thing I'm going to say. You know, then I'm going to sound off. You know, I could be doing anything right now. I'm not gone yet, you know. I could be sitting on the couch watching TV, you know. There's a bunch of shows I want to watch right now. A show called Narcos. I'll probably start watching today. But since I started doing these this idea that I had, you know, I've devoted hours to this within the last 3 days. And I'm doing this because I not only want to help, maybe part of it is for me. You know, I just thought of that. Maybe this is helping me feel like I'm doing what I can to be a good dad right now. You know, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a good characteristic. That's me doing my best for you guys, you know, but I could be doing anything I want right now, you know. There's a liquor store right there. You know the struggles I've had with alcohol. There's a liquor store a block away. I could walk there, I could drink, I could feel so bad for myself. Oh, what am I gonna do? There's scary people in prison. Oh my gosh, there's gangs. Oh no, okay. How am I gonna deal with this? Well, that wouldn't do nothing for me. What's that gonna do for me? I could go sit on the couch, you know, and watch my show. You know, I could play video games. I'm not doing any of that. I got 32 minutes, 17 seconds right now into just trying to be there in ways for you and encourage you and help any way I can. You know, and I'm not tooting my horn. Who cares? I'm in prison right now. So I'm not tooting my horn. I'm just making a point that pay attention to what I do good. You know, I told Papa the other day, I said, you know what, man, I really thought about recently is I've spent more time telling you what I didn't get enough of as a kid instead of telling you the things you did, you know, right. And I don't have a memory of my childhood. I really don't know why. It's just I've never had a good memory. Not like good memories. I wasn't able to remember things from my childhood like that, and it's always really bothered me. But there's these little things I remember, you know, about Papa that just, you know, now looking back, it's like, what a great dad, you know. He tried his best, you know, and failed in some ways. Who cares? Who doesn't? You know, who doesn't? Everybody doesn't come in first place all the time. Nobody does. But, you know, think about the good stuff too, you know, and we'll be together, you know, before you know it. You know, this is just a moment. It's a hard moment, but it's just a moment, you know. So let's think about the good things about each other. Write me letters, man. Nothing would be more important to me right now than getting letters from you specifically. You know, from Aaden Ryan Jones. You know, everybody's letters are important. You know, that's great. But I'm talking to you. You know, your letters will bless my day anytime I get them. And if I don't get them, you know, that's okay too. You know, same thing I told everybody else. You know, you're allowed to be mad at me. You know, I'm disappointed in myself. You know, that I haven't been the father that I thought I would have been. But what am I going to do? Beat myself up, you know, the rest of my life? I'm trying. You know, I'm trying my hardest. So your 100% changes every day. You know, let's say I did, 80 push-ups yesterday. That was 100% the best I can do. You know, but 2 days goes by and I do 90. Well, now 90 is my 100%. 80 was the other day. I gave it 100%. Just I couldn't do that much. Well, now I, advanced. So now I'm doing 90, and I got a new 100%. And it changed. So that's the way it goes. Always let your next day be your best day. So anyway, I love you from the bottom of my heart. I only have one Aaden in my life. I only have room for one. There's no one else, just you. So thank you for all the things you've taught me, and check out the next video. There will be one. Don't get no one pregnant.